Hello everyone, this is Elise with the Oily Spot community, and today we're going to learn about essential oils and emotions. I have lots of emotions right now. I'm just kidding. This is a topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about really, but it's one that really needs to be talked about. And I was first introduced to the concept of how essential oils could be beneficial for emotions. So when I went to the care class last year, it was actually the emotion part was taught by an amazing mentor of mine, Karen Hopkins. And I was just kind of blown away from that whole experience. And I immediately wanted to learn more. I'm a geek. I wanted to know as much as I could about how that works and the chemistry. And I read Dr. David Stewart's book on it. So there's a lot of really awesome things. So today what I'm wanting to do is share a little bit about my story with you guys, why I have gone on this journey with the emotional side of using essential oils, how essential oils are uniquely poised to work with our emotions, a little bit of the chemistry and the nerd part of it, because I want you guys to really know the power behind our essential oils and what they're able to do for our bodies. And then also I want to share with you some oils that can hopefully help you. So let's get started with my story, the fun part. I'm going to try not to get emotional with you guys. I am a person that likes to bury emotions down deep. I put on a good face, but I don't like to really deal with my things I'm going through. And this year, we have had 3 miscarriages. Now we have 2 perfectly healthy daughters, and it's amazing, but it's been really hard to deal with those miscarriages this year, especially because my husband had a vasectomy 2 years ago. So this should not be happening. I, first thought that it was pseudo-pregnancy. Maybe my body was just wanting me to be pregnant, but I wasn't really. But we actually saw 2 of our babies, that were several weeks along when we miscarried them, and it broke my heart a way that it's never been broken before. That was a traumatic experience for me, and I went into a dark place, and I didn't want to deal with it at all. And then I got to the point where I'm like, listen, I have to be a mommy. I have to still, take care of my 2 precious babies that I have here earthside with me. And not that I don't love the babies that would have been, but I have to take care of the ones that I have. So I started using my oils and really researching and diving into it. And I have had some amazing healing. It's not completely gone. I'm still having some healing that I'm having to do, but the oils have really been able to help me. So God's really laid it on my heart to share what I've gone through with you guys, because everybody has emotions and most people don't talk about them. So I'm hoping that putting myself out there and being raw with you guys will help somebody else out there, and then it's all worth it. So I have lots of good notes because this is a really important topic to me. I want to make sure that I share everything with you guys and don't go off on rabbit trails. So we talk about the triangle of stress. A lot of my chiropractor talks about this with me. My holistic practitioner talks about this with me. We've got this triangle, and it's what creates all the different symptoms and diseases in our bodies, or dis-ease, when we're unbalanced. At the top of the triangle, you have the physical, and then you have off to the left the chemical stressors, so like dietary, what you're eating, and then on the right you have the emotional side of things. Most problems in our body, all problems in our body are either because of too much of a bad stressor, and that can be emotions like fear, shame, and guilt, or not enough of good support. So like lack of emotional support, someone not speaking your love language, lack of identity, things like that. Emotions are the part of the triangle that is the biggest issue in everybody's bag of symptoms. It creates more issues and wreaks more havoc than anything else in the body. And why is that? It's probably, I think the biggest reason is because it's kind of like a ninja that sneaks in the night. You don't really realize that it's there. And then years later, you have all these issues, and you can trace them back to a traumatic experience. And you're like, wow, I did not know it was going to have those physical ramifications for my body. And then also, no one wants to deal with it. And and a lot of people are kind of afraid to help with it. It's like, ooh, that seems like a problem. I'm just going to walk this way. You have fun dealing with that. I mean, really, we're afraid to deal with it because we're afraid of what it will bring up in our own lives. So we're like, well, have fun. See you later. And that's not how we should be. So I really like learning from a fellow Young Living Oil person. Her name is Vanessa Strager. You can find her. She actually also follows Jim Bob Haggard. Sorry, you're going to hear my kitten. I have 3. But there is this awesome book that I think that you guys should all read. It's by Dr. Caroline Leaf, and it's titled, Who Switched Off My Brain? Controlling Toxic Thoughts and Emotions. The title just gives me stress because I don't want to deal with it. Okay, I'm dealing with it. Put my oils on. So she talks about in this book, the first thing is how our mind controls the brain. And that's a unique concept for people that are learning this. You know, those things are different. And number two, how powerful our thought life is. So I just want to give you guys a kind of a little taste of this. Research shows that 87 to 93% of all illness can be attributed to our thought life. Actually, only 13% can be attributed to diet, genetics, and our environment. This is straight out of her book. Studies conclusively link chronic diseases, like lifestyle diseases that we're talking about, to epidemic toxic emotions in our culture. We live in a very instant society today. You know, we're instantly linked to, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Everybody's lives are displayed, or their fake lives, for us to judge. And of course, we judge that person's best with our worst. It's not fair. So there's lots of toxic emotions out there for sure. And we have more access to health care, you know, from the allopathic system in this day and age than ever before. Yet we have more illness than ever before also. Makes you think. So 87% is caused by toxic emotions. That is crazy. That is crazy. And it can lead to hypertension, strokes, skin problems, diabetes, infections, allergies, etc., etc., etc. And this is all straight from her book. This is scientific research that has been backed up. I believe, especially going through my own emotional journey this year, especially, that we are three-part beings. We are not, and it's okay if you're not a Christian, but we all have a mind, a body, and a spirit, right? So I just want to share this verse with you, and hopefully it doesn't offend anybody, but I love this verse. It's Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I mean, that's just, there you go. So the way we think affects our spiritual health, our physical health, and our emotional health. We are all linked. It's not, you can't think a negative thought that not affects you mentally or physically. You just can't. So let's study the brain for a second, because it's really fascinating and complex, and I absolutely love it. So in Dr. David Stewart's book, The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple, it explains how essential oils work and the limbic system. The limbic system is a part of your brain where your amygdala, pituitary, and other glands are stored. This is the big one that we're going to talk about tonight. I mean, excuse me, today. I'm used to doing videos at night. Talk about today. Because your amygdala, that's where your emotions are stored. Now, it's not the only place. They're actually stored in other parts of your body as well, but they start in the amygdala, especially if you have a traumatic event. Let's see. So thoughts are emotions, and emotions are attitudes, right? What does that mean exactly? Here's an example. You know, every day you've got an inner dialogue, just like right now. You're listening to me. You're hearing my voice, you're thinking and computing it in your brain, and you're trying to put it into your own thoughts, and then you're deciding if what I'm saying is true or false, right? You're deciding whether to believe me or just kind of hawk it up to being a crazy oil lady. So when that happens, those things actually turn into chemicals into our bodies. Candace Pert, you can look her up, and I'm going to quote her real quick. She was a neuroscientist, and she wrote the book, Molecules of Emotion. The information molecules carry are literally photocopied of, the information molecules carry a literal photocopy of the thought formulated in the depths of memory networks of the brain, a link between mind and body. So your mind and body is connected. It has been scientifically proven, which is cool. And again, you know, as Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you're constantly meditating on fear, anger, disgust, despair, that information is being translated into molecules. The information in the molecules are then able to make changes at the cellular level. They're reconstructing the cell's makeup on the outside and changing the cell's DNA on the inside. That's crazy. I mean, boom, that's huge. It's like mind blown. When you use essential oils, we breathe them in through using aromatherapy. And I personally only use Young Living essential oils, and those are the ones that we're going to talk about today just for the purity. But that's a side note. So when you breathe through oils, when you breathe oils in aromatically, it has, because of the small molecular structure of essential oils, they're actually able to cross the blood-brain barrier, and not much can. So that's awesome. So we have our 5 senses, right? We've got taste, touch, sight, smell, and auditory, or the sound. The sense of smell is the only sense that has the ability to activate the amygdala in the limbic system, where your seat of emotions are. And essential oils are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, so it's getting to the amygdala, so it's getting to the seat of your emotions. Let's put it all together, right? All essential oils work on emotions. The citrus oils are amazing. So don't just get overwhelmed by all of this. Just know that to use what you have, because it's going to be working. All essential oils work on the cellular level, right? Because when I first started learning about this, I was like, oh my goodness, I need all these blends. No, you can use what you have. If you've gotten a premium starter kit with Young Living, you've got lemon, you've got lavender, you've got frankincense, which is the amazing one. You've got purification. So there's a lot of oils that you can be using. You don't have to go buy all the blends that I'm going to talk about today. Use what you have. So when we're talking about essential oils and chemical constituents, we're going to be talking about monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, and phenols. So how do these work? First, we're going to talk about negative emotions, okay? Because that's what we're going to kind of focus on. There's 2 types of emotions. There are emotions based in fear, and there are emotions that are based in love. So the emotions based in fear are anything that are negative. So, hate, worry, anger, anxiety, hostility, frustration, etc., etc. All these toxic attitudes create a toxic environment in our bodies, and it creates a toxic response. Emotions are stored in different parts of the body. And if you had said that like 10, 15 years ago, they would have thought that you were a quack. But it's amazing what research is showing to us even more day by day, how strong emotions are for us and where they are actually stored in the body. And you can find this all for yourself, but I wanted to give you some examples. Anger is actually shown to be stored in the liver and the gallbladder, so it's causing liver and gallbladder issues. Worry is housed in your stomach. Have you ever been really worried about something and felt sick to your stomach? I think we all have. And then grief, it gets stuck in the lungs. Fear is related to kidney issues, and stress is actually related to heart issues. There's people that have, been so stressed, and then they have heart attacks. I know several people that have done that. So, I mean, this sounds completely crazy, I know, but it's all very scientifically proven. It has a lot to do with frequency as well. Emotions really do speak to the whole body. So the first step in knowing that our emotions affect our bodies physically, okay, that's the very first step. Thoughts that are running through your mind during the day are determining your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. Dr. Bradley Nelson wrote the book, the Emotion Code book, and he's a chiropractor, and he says in his book that a trapped emotion, a trapped emotion we have found is literally a ball of energy that can lodge anywhere in the body and disrupt the normal energy field of the body. We know that they are located in specific places. That's pretty cool. So let's break this all down, okay? Your cells have memory, just like your brain, right? You have a nucleus inside the cell, and that's the thinking part of your cell. That tells it what it needs to do, where the DNA is made, where the RNA is replicated. So negative, toxic, fear-based emotions damage those receptor sites on your cells. Just like what toxins do in our bodies. They damage and block receptor sites, meaning that your cells aren't able to communicate correctly. They aren't able to get the proper nutrition either. Damaged receptor sites mean that the cell is not able to receive the information that it needs. And that is how disease is able to take hold of your body. Boom. Right? Essential oils work because phenols help to cleanse and repair the receptor sites of our cells. It works more than just in the amygdala. It works in every single cell. And that's one of the reasons raindrop therapy with a specific order of oils is so huge and so important, because the first set of oils that we use are very high in phenol content. So it is scrubbing off and cleansing off those receptor sites so that your cells can work the way that they're supposed to. That's why when we say, when you breathe in an essential oil, it is in every cell of your body within 20 minutes. How awesome is that? I mean, that's just, it blows my mind. That's so cool. So let's recap. You breathe, oh, excuse me, sorry, those are my notes. Let's recap. You breathe in an essential oil, like through your nose via aromatherapy. It's able to cross the blood-brain barrier, goes to your amygdala in your limbic system, and then it travels to every cell in your body within 20 minutes. And you don't have to worry about having the exact oil for whatever you're dealing with. Essential oils are adaptogenic. They are working on those receptor sites that are needing help, if that makes sense. So that, you know, they're alive, they're innate, they are going where they're needed in the body. Let's see, and this could go on forever, but I really want to just give you guys that base so that you're understanding that it's not just a smell that makes you feel happy. I want you to know that it's actually creating a positive change in your body. So if you're getting, you know, flustered and you're not really sure where to get started, just diffuse, because breathing in essential oils aromatically is getting that into your limbic system, and it's helping with your emotions. I've got Valor going right now because mean emotions, you know, talking about those and being raw and being so real with you guys, it is scary, because I think as human nature, we're supposed to have this perfect, you know, perfect life and perfect picture from the outside, when none of us are. We are all beings in different parts of our life and different parts of our walk. And it's ever evolving, and it's okay to not be perfect, because in my pain, I know that there's a purpose, and I know that I will help people with it. So that's why I'm diffusing Valor. So there's a lot to learn with emotions. You know, buried emotions, emotional patterns, emotional releases. There's lots and lots of information to learn about this, but we're gonna stick to the geek stuff because that's my love language, and that's how I talk. So monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes are really important also with emotions, again, and those are the other oil chemical constituents in the oils that we use for raindrop. Sesquiterpenes especially are very high, oils with very high sesquiterpene counts are very good for emotions, because they affect the amygdala and bring oxygen to the brain so that your cells can function better. So let's tie this all together, because I'm sure you guys are like, what is she talking about? And you can definitely rewatch this if you need to. So when emotions come in and create a change in our cells, those receptor sites get affected with their frequencies. It's the movement of your cells, and that's what frequency is. The way your cells send and receive information. And that goes way down with negative emotions, right? So the frequency of the oils, you know, how fast it moves and how fast it vibrates, creates a positive change in the body to help to repair the frequency damage from whatever information you chose to input or that was done to you. You know, when we were little, your mom always said, you know, you are who you hang around. I mean, that's very, very true, because you can have emotional issues because you've said them to yourself, like self-doubt issues, or because someone said it to you or even around you. Because your body, your subconscious mind is always taking in information. It cannot decipher between if that information is geared towards you or if somebody's having a fight next to you. That's still taken in. You know, I've always been a very emotional person. I can really feel people, and I don't know if it's a gift or not. I mean, I'm assuming that it is, but I just get burdened with people's emotions. You know, like going through Costco the day before Thanksgiving, that was stressful because everybody was like throwing their emotions at me. And that's why white angelica is such an amazing oil that we'll talk about here in a second. But your subconscious mind is always taking in that information. So you really need to be careful and guard your mind and guard your body with whatever information is being taken in. I don't really watch the news because I'm affected so easily. Jeremiah watches it. He gives me the highlights. I'm like, okay, what's the weather? The world ended today? Nope. Okay, good. And we'll keep moving. And that's why it's so important with kids too, because we are molding and shaping, you know, the next generation. And that's why it's important to deal with your own emotions, because all of our emotions aren't necessarily ours. It can be things that we have gotten from our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents through our genes. And it's something that needs to be dealt with so that it's not on with the next generation, if that makes sense. And I don't want this to be doom and gloom. You know, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and of sound mind. Okay? Don't get bogged down by this. Your mind is so valuable. It's important to really take that time and deal with the things that aren't very easy to deal with so that you can get to a better place. So I wanted to visit with you guys about a couple of my favorite blends. And if you've got the starter kit, you've got frankincense, and that's a wonderful oil to use for emotions. I love putting it on my chest at church because usually Sunday mornings are crazy, so that I can really focus and be present. Also, cedarwood, it's very, very high in sesquiterpenes, and it's like $11. I love cedarwood. I love cedarwood. And then also cedarwood and vetiver put together are some of the oils with the highest sesquiterpenes. And I love it just for, you know, cognition and focus and things, but that's also one that's really great for emotions. There's an oil blend that's called Awaken, and it is a blend of blends. And I was actually just learning about this. I'm preparing to teach to you guys today, and I have to get this oil this month. I'm just going to have to get it. So Awaken is in an almond oil base. It has joy, present time, forgiveness, dream catcher, and harmony in it. That is a whole lot of stuff going on in that bottle. And, you know, when you're dealing with emotions, you don't want to put all of these oils on and then, you know, see that person that might have caused those emotions, or, you know, put all those oils on and then go out into society and have to function. You know, sometimes when we're dealing with things and we need to bring them up so that we can address them and heal from them and move past and forward into a better place, you have to have a safe spot to do that. And if you put all those oils on, you know, in your Costco and you start boo-hooing or sucking it up, you know, oils bring emotions to the surface so that we can deal with them, and it helps us deal with them and then heal from them and move on. You don't want to keep resurfacing that and then not be ready for it and bury it back down again, because that will cause more damaged DNA, more damaged receptor sites, and cause a bigger problem physically for you, okay? Let's see, my other oils that I like. Oh, I wanted to share this with you guys. I have just recently started to do this with our last miscarriage, and it has made a big difference in my life because I was kind of, you know, just going through the motions and kind of a robot, but not really there emotionally. I didn't want to feel anything because the last thing I felt was a lot of hurt, right? So I started using this. It's called Have a Great Day Protocol that Gary Young made up, and I absolutely love it. So first you put Valor over your wrists. Let me see, I don't know if I have my Valor with me. Valor. Valor over your wrists. I love it. And then you put Joy over your heart. I have that over here somewhere. Over your physical heart. Harmony on your solar plexus. So your solar plexus are from, you know, your rib cage to your belly button, right in there. And then White Angelica on your head and your shoulders. Like you take White Angelica, I have that one right here. You take it, you put some in your hand, you know, and you kind of go like this, and you just cover your body with it, right? I love White Angelica because it makes a protective shield around you, and I don't get as bogged down, is what I'm trying to say, with other emotions. Also, when I'm around people that cause other emotions to come up in me, White Angelica really helps protect me from that. So I really love White Angelica. And then you can put these all in a one roller bottle and then put them all on, but it's really important, and it's actually called therapy localization. There's value in putting those specific oils on individually in those specific places, and I won't have time to get into that today, but it just takes a couple minutes, but it does make a really big difference. Let's see, and we want to make sure especially with the holidays coming up. I know it's a really hard time for a lot of people, and the stress. What is this stress? Is it a positive stress because you're so excited and you're able to see all these people, or is it a negative stress because you're having to see all these people and you're afraid of judgment and things like that, right? So we definitely want to be supporting ourselves emotionally through this time. And I don't know if I have my Stress Away. This is my mommy oil. I love Stress Away. I was actually just at Target, and the lady that was checking me out could smell my oils, and she asked me about them. I was like, actually, yeah, I'm using this, and this because I'm dealing with some things, and it's really helping me to get through them. You know what she told me? She was like, oh my goodness, one of my friends was telling me about oils. Maybe I should listen to her because I had a daughter that passed away, and January 3rd is the 2-year anniversary. Oh my goodness. My heart just broke for her. I took out my Stress Away and I was like, you should try this. And I just put it on her wrist because it makes such a big difference because of the way that it is uniquely poised to work in our bodies. So I wanted to share some of the other kit, a kit with you. Excuse me, man, I should have used rosemary today for my memory, but I didn't today. So there were kits that were made that were debuted last year's at convention, their 20th year convention, and it was specifically for people that have gone through traumatic events. I felt a deep urge in my gut to buy this kit. It's $200. It comes with 2 sets of amazing oils right here, and I had never gone through anything traumatic. I didn't know anybody that had really gone through anything traumatic, but God told me to buy this kit, so I bought it. And these have been a lifesaver for me. This is the Freedom Release and Freedom Sleep oils, blends from Young Living collections. So it comes with the Freedom Oil, Divine Release, TR Care, Joy, and Transformation is the Freedom Release. And the Freedom Sleep is Aroma Sleep, Freedom, Inner Harmony, and Valor. I was not sleeping. When you're dealing with things and there's things stirring up and you're in a bad place, I was just not sleeping. I would put that Aroma Sleep in my diffuser and I would zonk out. I put my Inner Harmony on, my Freedom on, and my Valor on, and I would have such good sleep. This has gotten me through one of the darkest times in my life, really. And I feel like a wimp for saying that because I have 2 beautiful children, but I just feel like there's a hole in our family from that child that could have been, or children that could have been. So it was hard for me. So the Freedom oils have really made a big difference in my life. And then also I wanted to share with you Peace and Calming. Peace and Calming is huge. I absolutely love this oil. When it feels like I'm about to lose my junk is what I say. When I'm about to come unhinged and have just all kinds of emotions come up and I'm not going to be able to handle what's going on, I put Peace and Calming on. I love it. Tranquil is also, it comes in a roller ball. I don't have it because that's Aubrey's oil and she has it with her at daycare. But rolling that on, just breathing the oil in and taking a deep breath makes such a big difference. I also have Acceptance. Enough said about that one. Let's see, I have a Highest Potential. Highest Potential, Believe, and Abundance. I have a lot of emotional oils because I'm a very emotional person, if you guys can't tell. You don't have to have all of these. If you're dealing with anger, purification comes in your starter kit. Put it over your liver. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this burden of, oh man, I'm so jacked up, where do I start? Start using what you've got, because essential oils are adaptogenic. As soon as you breathe them in, they're going to cross that blood-brain barrier, go to your amygdala, and start helping you with your emotions. So I hope that you understood the message that I was trying to bring to you guys today, and I didn't make it too sciencey for you, but I wanted you to know why essential oils are so amazing with our emotions. It's not just some voodoo. It's not just Bath and Body Works smells good. When you use therapeutic grade essential oils, they can truly transform your life for the better with emotions. So I pray that this has blessed you, and I look forward to speaking with you guys again. God bless.